Hi everyone and welcome back to World of Mine Productions. Today we have the Ford GT Pack 2 Stage 4 and we're going to be doing the right door, and that rhymed. Stage 4, the right door. Anyway, so what we've got here is we've got this, I mean, look at the detail on this. This is what grabbed it for me, the colours of it. There's so much detail. Turquoise is one of my childhood favourite colours. I absolutely love turquoise. 4A is the right door, so as you can see, very, very lovely indeed. The paintwork is absolutely gorgeous, and it looks like they've used like a glossy paint because it's got a shine to it, so we'll pop that over to one side. 4B is the window, and this is very, very delicate. I remember one of my YouTubers saying about this, because it says there it's got like a ledge, so you don't want to be mucking around with that too much. Next we've got 4-C, and 4-C is the exterior window. So this is the 4C exterior door light, so very, very lovely indeed. So we'll pop that over to one side. And 4D is the interior door compartment, so that is plastic, very chunky part there. 4E is the this part here, and this part here is the interior door compartment. Okay, so that's the interior door compartment. We've got 4F, and 4F is the interior door compartment cover. So that's 4F, this part here. Okay, then we've got 4-H, and 4H is the hinge. So this is this part here. So that is very similar to the Agora Snake hinge. It's metal and it's a lovely hinge there. The next part that we've got is 4I, and 4I is this part here, which is the hinge plate. So that will sit within the hinge. After that we've got, okay, so 4J is actually the opening mechanism plate. To me that's a bracket or a clip. So guys, now that we've got the front of the right door here, what we're going to be doing is we're now going to be attaching this little part here, which is the door interior light, which looks really, really cool. Now, as you can see very carefully, we've got this key notch here, and this is basically going to sit into there so that you've got the whole side going through that hole there, and that's going to sit in there like that. Isn't it so amazing that when you put a part on, it just changes it? So cool. It's just really cool. Next we're going to get a pack of FDO2 screws. What I'm going to do is I'm going to snip that part at the edge, because it's so much easier to snip it than it is to unwrap that. It's a terrible design in my opinion, and they should be bagged like eagle moss. I say things how it is, and I'm sorry, that is terrible. So there we go, we're going to pop an FDO2 screw. As you can see, I'm popping that into there while I'm holding the back. And I have got the polystyrene, should we need it. In fact, so that's on there. In fact, what we will do is we will pop that there so that we can rest this on here. I got this technique from a channel called Flame with A4 coming up on the screen now if you do want to check it out, and he uses that, which is pretty cool. So the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to get the hinge now. Now I do appreciate that this looks, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll use it like that, because you can see that there's quite a white balance with that polystyrene. So yeah, I don't think we'll use that. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to place that on this edge like that, very carefully. We're going to get this hinge, and what's going to happen is the hinge is going to literally mount into this little gap here. We've got a lovely little gap here, and what's going to happen is that's going to sit like that, so it sort of grips it. It's really, really cool and very cleverly designed, because it will pivot like that, so it will pivot something like that. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to get this part here. We're going to get the hinge, which we pop out there. We're going to get the hinge plate, which looks like that. Now it's a directional piece, because the two holes at the front marry up with these two peg parts here, and all that does is just literally holds the hinge into position. The next part, what we're going to do, we're going to get an FD01 screw, which I've got here, and we're going to secure that in with an FD01 screw. So yeah, should we need the polystyrene, we've got that anyway, but what you can do is just hold it up from the mat like I'm doing now, and that's an FD01 screw that's going in really, really well. All that does is hold it in place like so, and as you can see, that will pivot like that. It doesn't pivot too much, but that's about as far as it goes, so it must not open very much. So that's that part. Right, this is where we get to a bit of a hiccup here, because I lost the spring, and one of my fellow YouTubers, Alex McDonald, did suggest that we cut a biro pen and get the spring out of that to put that on. Now, there is a theory to this, and what's going to happen is I will secure it in, and then when I can find the spring, I will disassemble it to put the spring back in. So basically, if you look at the image here, you do actually put like a spring onto it. So a spring goes onto this part here, okay? And what's going to happen is we're going to line that spring up so that this part basically slots in something like that. Because what will happen then is you'll have this black part here that's going to go to this little section here, and it will act as a spring mechanism. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to pop this bracket over the top here, okay, and they're going to go in with FD04 screws. So that's the plate of the opening mechanism that will go onto there, just something like that. So you'll get the idea that that is going to have a spring effect on that, which looks very, very cool. So we're going to pop a spring mechanism on that. I'm not too sure why this part here is silver, because if you look here, you've got like a silver section there. I'm not too sure why that's silver. Maybe it's something to do with the hinge. But yeah, that looks really cool. I really like that. I think it's a good little contraption there. Ah, I see. So yeah, anyway, let's be popping this into position. Then we'll get the FD04 screws. Right, so FD04 is over here, which I did, sure I cut that, maybe not. Let's give it a sniff there. So yeah, it does look a bit strange what that silver part's for, because in the manual, Model Space magazines don't come in with the instructions. You either have to print them or view them online. And I did print it, but seem to have mislaid it again. So let's screw that into position. Is that going to go in? Like that. So this obviously is not going to do nothing because the spring is not there. But for the purposes, just for the purposes of the video, and I will correct it once I find the spring. Failing that, we can easily get a small spring from somewhere, you know, Amazon may do them, eBay, or as Alex said, from a biro pen, and just cut that half the size. So as you can see, we've got like this little mechanism here. As you can see, I'm not being funny, but it doesn't seem to hold into nothing, because yeah, that's quite interesting. Now, if you look on the screen, there is another mechanism that goes at the end of that, but because I haven't got the spring, I'm going to leave that off, and we will revisit this at a later date, and I'll show you how to combine that into position. So once we've done that, and that's all lovely and secure, the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing the actual interior of the door now, which is going to be involving this black part here. So this is a very, very chunky piece of plastic, which looks really, really cool. And also what we get with this is this part here. So this is part of the roof panel that we've got here, and as you can see, you've got 4 locating pins which are going to marry up into them pins there. Now, as you can see on the roof here, it is a directional piece, so you can't put it that way because it does, you've got the guide going around and it wouldn't work. So basically we're going to pop that onto there like that. And this is a push fit by the looks of it. So that just pushes into there like so. Wow. So yeah, I know that's fell off, but as I said, I'm going to be revisiting that at a later date. So that's gone in absolutely perfect. So the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to get the window here, and what we're going to do, you're going to see the 4 holes married up, or the 3 holes, sorry, married up there. We're just basically going to line that up like so. And these holes here, be very, very careful. You've got like a little catch part here. You don't want to be breaking that. 1, 2, 3 through here. This is plastic, but it's an acrylic plastic, and I really don't like acrylic plastic. That's really cool. Oh wow, that's really cool. Okay, so we just need to be careful with that. So they're going to go in with FD03 screws, which I have over here, and these have got a rounded head on them. So yeah, I think the best option here is to hold it up, because I'm cautious of that part there. We don't want to be breaking that. And we'll just screw that into position like so. Not too much, because I made a mistake with the 3D printer that Model Space had. They had like an IQ printer, and I screwed it a little bit too hard and the acrylic snapped. So as soon as you feel that biting point, you back away from the screw, because otherwise it's going to crack that plastic and it'll be a job of replacing it. So once we've done that, I think I'm going to go like that, I think, because I'm cautious of this little window. It's all coming together now, so whoops, lost a screw there, I found it. So that is the wrong screw anyway, because this one, if you look, it's got like a little head on it. So we'll pop that there. And then the next part, what we're going to do, we're going to secure another screw into this part here. I'm sorry it's a little bit, my hands may be in the way, but we've got a very delicate window here that I need to take care with here. So, I mean, you don't have to tighten it very tight, but just enough that, you know, it holds it in. I mean, if it's loose, then fair enough, you can screw it a little bit more. So yeah, lovely. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to pop in the other screw now, and that's literally just going to go into this part here. That will go into there. This reminds me of the DeLorean sort of door, because that's got the same sort of like design to it. So yeah, there we go, that's your window all secure. Look at that. I think my favourite part so far has to be this little light here. I think that's great. So guys, we're almost finished on stage 4. What we're going to do is we're going to be securing this part now. As you can see, we've got a recess here, which is this section here, and we're going to be placing this inner door panel, which is that part there, and we're going to secure it to the 2 posts, which is the either side of this. Now they wanted to do it the other way by the looks of it, so it looks as if this panel goes somewhere. Is it that side or is it that side? I'm sorry, but that looks far too small for that type of mechanism. Oh, I see, it's the pin there. Right, that's okay. So yeah, the top pin grips it. You've got a little pin here. So yeah. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to get an FD01 screw again. And we're just going to secure that in. It requires a pin and a screw, so that's literally all you need to do. And what I like about builds is you have all these parts stored up, and then when you assemble it on, you know, it's so satisfying getting rid of all the plastic clamshells and blister packs or whatever it comes in. As you can see, that's gone in there absolutely perfect, like so. So what we need to do is we need to pop that part into here. We need to secure this in with 2 screws first of all, and them screws are going to be in with FD01 screws again. So these are these screws here. We're going to secure that right down into that, like so. So this is a real, that looks really dark. quite good. And now it's the case of trying to line the screw up, because that's quite a long hole to line up, but once you've got it dead center, that's gone in absolutely fine. And then we'll just pop this part into here. Now obviously, as I said, I know some of you are thinking, why have I put this on? Or some of you might be thinking, why have I put this on if I haven't put this part in? That is because I might be able to get down there fine, because other than that, what I will do in a minute is I'll show you. Let's just pop this in here, and then I'll explain how I'm going to work this. So we're going to pop that screw down here. So going in. Trouble is, because obviously you can't tell if it's lined up. Anyway, I'm going to leave that off, because basically that's how it will look. But as you saw earlier on, I need to put this connection into here, but it needs a spring on it. So once we've got the spring sorted out, I will take this back off. I'm going to leave this part off for now, because I need to get to that panel there, but I just wanted to show you roughly how it will look. This part will be in here, and it'll be like a pushing mechanism, and this part will rest on the top. But word of advice, I'm not going to be putting that on, because if I put that on now, I'm never going to get that back out again, because these pins expand out and lock into there. So basically that's how it looks. It's looking really, really cool. And yes, I will see you next week, on next Friday, where we do stage 5, which involves the bonnet. That is a very exciting part, because it goes into the front part of the bonnet that we got very early on in issue 1. Hope you like that. Please remember to like and support. See you very soon for another video. Take care. Bye bye.